Then comes the selection of, once you have intubated the mode of ventilation, and now here is a question, what mode of mechanical ventilation you will select? So assist control, pressure support, SIMB or CPAP. I'll explain each mode now, but you can vote now what mode you want to select. We will discuss in subsequent slides. So now, how we decide about the mode? Uh, you need to understand this another very important and basic concept of mechanical ventilation. Uh, like the way we breathe in, and when we are not able to breathe, when we are not able to do the breathing, ventilator tries to do exactly the same function. So to breathe in, we have a respiratory center which triggers our diaphragm to contract. Diaphragm contract. So there is a negative pressure generated, and there is a limit of contraction of chest wall and diaphragm. So up to that limit, air is inhaled. Once that limit is reached, inspiration is stopped and patient goes in expiration. So trigger, limit, and cycle. These are the three important things in inspiration. When you trigger, either you trigger or ventilator trigger. When you trigger, it become assist or spontaneous mode. When ventilator triggers, it become control mode. And that's how the mode is decided. So if you are triggering and ventilator is supporting, it's called assist control. But if you are not triggering, it is only ventilator which is triggering and ventilator is limiting, ventilator is cycling, then it's called control mode ventilation. So based on this trigger, limit, and cycle, mode is decided. So you have to remember, assist control means patient is triggering, patient is breathing spontaneously, but his limit and cycle is decided by ventilator. So this is called assist control mode. If patient is totally sedated and paralyzed, where trigger, limit, and cycle, all three are decided by the ventilator, this is called control mode. If nothing, if you are triggering, you are limiting, and you are cycling of your own, that is called spontaneous ventilation. But if patient is triggering, there is a limit, and then patient is cycling of his own, then it's called support mode, where ventilator is only giving a support, the rest of thing is being decided by the ventilator. So this is how different types of mode comes. So if you are able to understand the concept of TLC, you will be easily able to define what kind of mode patient is on. And based on this, uh, 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 TLC, different kind of mode. So once you have selected the mode, you can limit in ventilator. If you go by the basic physics, there is a volume and there is a pressure. So ventilator gives you liberty of controlling one thing, limiting one thing. So either you can limit the volume or you can limit the pressure. If you limit the volume, it's become volume mode, volume control, volume support. If you limit the pressure, it becomes pressure control, pressure support, assist control. So control can be pressure, volume, support can be pressure, volume, assist can be pressure and volume, depending upon what you have limited. Then there are other words also come. I'll come to that mode. So based on that, it is easy now. So if you see the ventilator, you will sometimes find this kind of graphics. This called scalar graphic, where three pressure, flow, volume is graphed under time. This is the classical wave, PFT wave, which you see. So important of this waveform are very quickly you can pick up the mode, you can pick up what kind of breath it is, you can pick up even what kind of problem patient is having and fix it. And that's why graphic analysis is very important. To understand basic of graphic, first you need to understand the scalar. So pressure versus time means once patient start inhaling or ventilator start inhaling, as volume increases, there will be flow will increase, pressure will increase. Pressure will increase up to a limit. Once that limit is reached, then patient will go in cycle, flow will stop. And once flow stop and reduce up to the 25 or 30%, patient will go in expiration. This switch over to inspiration to expiration can be time dependent if you have fixed the inspiratory time, or flow dependent if you have fixed the flow like in volume control, or it can be time dependent like if you have fixed the time in pressure. So what you will see, if you see the pressure versus time curve, and if it is a square shape like this, then this is the pressure mode ventilation. Here all mode is being delivered by the ventilator. That is a pressure control. Mode, limit and cycle is decided by ventilator. This is a pressure control mode. If you see the flow versus time, if they are square, there is no negative surge here. So here everything is decided by ventilator. So that's why this, if you find this kind of graphic, this is a volume control mode. But suppose if you get a negative surge here, negative surge here, negative surge here, then this become assist control volume or assist control pressure mode. So if you have understood this basic concept, it will be very easy for you to understand. Now, little bit detail about the pressure versus time, because we need to continuously monitor, at least this is a basic understanding. When your flow increases, there will be initially when ventilator circuit and airway, that resistance airflow has to cross. Once that resistance is crossed, then air will start flowing to alveoli, and a time will come when it will reach to peak. This peak can be your flow if it is a volume control, or this peak can be inspiratory time depending upon the what mode you have selected. Once peak flow is achieved, air will get equalized in alveoli and gradually a plateau will come till your inspiratory time is achieved, or till your flow is reduced to your 25 or 30%, whatever is inbuilt or you have set up. Once that flow or inspiratory time is achieved, then patient will go in expiratory phase and will stay up to the peak which you have set up. The importance is that the peak pressure, and when air get equalized in alveoli, this peak and this equalization difference is indicative of resistance. So this is the peak pressure and this is the plateau pressure. Peak pressure, every ventilator will give you in each cycle. To see the plateau pressure in a comfortable, relaxed and paralyzed patient, you have to put on the inspiratory hold of the inspiratory hold, and the pressure which you get after around 4 to 5 seconds is the plateau pressure. If peak pressure and plateau pressure difference is very high, most likely you are dealing with a problem of resistance, which can be COPD, asthma, or airway obstruction, and patient need nebulizer. If plateau pressure is very high and peak pressure difference is low, that means you are dealing with a problem of compliance. That means classically you are dealing with ARDS, pneumonia, CHF, this kind of lung. So this is very important graph which you need to understand. As I told you that if you are breathing, this is inspiratory trigger, this is the limit you decide, this is all sinusoidal curve. If you see on a baseline this kind of breathing, very classical, you are breathing off your own without ventilator. But if same breathing, you see there's a baseline FRC here, and at a certain pressure, which classically CPAP machine does, where you increase the intrathoracic pressure at a certain level, and on that patient ventilate, which is classically applied in particularly LVF patient, then it's called CPAP mode. As I already had told you that here the pressure versus time, pressure versus time curve is not sinusoidal rather than accelerating. This indicates it's a volume mode. Here there is a no negative trigger. This is a control mode. This is the control mode. But here there is a negative sync assist. So this is the mode which allow your patient to trigger if we want to trigger, and that's why this mode is assist volume control mode of ventilation. If you see the lower graph, here it is a sinusoidal shape. That means it's a pressure limit. Every breath is being triggered by the patient. That means this is a triggered breath, is assist breath, and the termination is spontaneous. So this is a very classical example of pressure support ventilation, where breath is triggered by the patient, limit by the machine, and cycle by the patient. Is called pressure support ventilation. Another important mode which we do not use but you need to understand the SIMB. SIMB mode came with a concept that it synchronizes each breath with the patient, and it allows the fatigue, it allows the asynchrony, but it really did not happen. So if you see here, machine has given a breath, then here the patient has a spontaneous breath, the patient ventilator did not give breath. Here patient has spontaneous breath, patient did not give, machine did not give breath, and here patient triggered, patient has spontaneous. So it allows the patient to breathe spontaneously. Now what happened during this breath? Patient get tired if it is not supported. So now SIMB is supported by pressure support. So if you give a support to the patient, the ventilator will give a breath if patient is not triggering. If patient trigger at the time of ventilation, then it will be support mode, and that support you decide. So when you combine SIMB mode with pressure support, it becomes SIMB pressure support, and where each spontaneous breath will be supported by a preset of pressure. And if that patient does not trigger at a defined time, then patient will breathe, and then patient ventilator will give you own breath which you have preset. So SIMB mode was a mode which was common, but nowadays we do not use because this one mode has shown that it increases diaphragmatic fatigue, it prolongs the ventilator day, and that's why it is being avoided nowadays.